How's it going, guys? Welcome to the first video on the channel. My name's Nolan. Today we have kind of a cool project we're gonna get started on. This is my old 1022. It has been used and abused. It's completely stock. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a little series on kind of upgrading it. Everything's gonna get done to it. New chassis, new barrel, all the internals are gonna be new, new scope. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna record all the data. We're gonna shoot groups with it. We're gonna try a bunch of different ammo through it, and kind of see, as we upgrade this thing, how it progresses. I'm super excited. I haven't shot this thing in forever. I just got it back from my dad. I probably haven't shot it since I was 15 or so, and I'm 24 now, so it's been a while. This thing's never been cleaned. It's probably got thousands of rounds through it, probably upwards of 5,000 rounds through it. And it's a little sluggish on that bolt. You can really feel how much it grinds. So it definitely needs a little bit of love. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take it apart. I'm gonna get it all cleaned up. We're gonna throw a bipod on it. We're gonna be using the MDT ground pod off my AR. And it's gonna go on the Picatinny on front here, just so we can get a good baseline with it. The ammo we're gonna be using is the same ammo I was shooting when I was 15. I had made up in my mind for some reason that Aguila 40 grain, there you go, Aguila 40 grain super extra was the best stuff for it. I don't know why I thought that, because I definitely wasn't group testing or anything. I just liked it, I guess. I know now that supersonic stuff isn't the most accurate stuff to shoot out of a 22, because you have to go transonic and deal with all that when you get up to longer ranges. So we're going to test out a bunch of ammo and see what's working for us. But yeah, we will get her taken apart, get her cleaned, and we'll see you guys out on the range. Alright, so it's been like 5 minutes since I ended the last part of the video. I got the gun apart, and I figured I'd show you guys just how dirty everything is, how kind of abused stuff got from me being a little kid and just shooting all the time. So here is the bolt. Let's see if I can get it in focus here. Here is the bolt with the firing pin. You can see everything's just caked in carbon. It's supposed to be shiny, and it's not. Same thing with the spring and the charging handle, just caked in carbon. And the receiver, same thing. It's supposed to be shiny inside, or at least not blackened, and it's caked in carbon. So this thing's gonna get totally cleaned up. We're gonna start taking a little bit better care of her now that we know what we're doing. The scope might come back a little bit too, just so I can play with the eye relief and really get it the best chance to shoot in a group is kind of our base for our base data. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that while we're taking her apart and kind of see how far it's gonna come. Alrighty guys, we're out here at the range. We've got 15 rounds loaded up in the mag. We're gonna go ahead and shoot a couple groups down at 50 and see what happens. This will be kind of the baseline for comparing to all the improvements we're gonna do further down the line. So let's see what happens. And here we go. All right, that should be the first 5. Go to the next one. Should be another 5. All right, there we go. Let's go see how they look. I can tell you, just from looking through the scope, they're not looking too good. All right, we went down and took a look at them. As I suspected, they're not great groups. I mean, you know, at 50 yards, I could hit a Coke can every time, but every 22 should be able to do that. That's not, you know, anything special. But I got 6 more dots down there, so we'll shoot 6 more groups and really just get a good average. And then next thing to do is we're gonna throw a good scope on it to kind of really level the playing field for the gun and make sure it's not just that I can't see what I'm shooting at. We'll be back out here, we'll shoot those groups, and then we'll get on to the more in-depth upgrades. So I'm gonna load up 15 more. We'll shoot 3 more dots. I'll load up 15, we'll shoot 3 more dots, and I'll meet you guys back at the house and we'll go over kind of the findings. I believe that's 5. I really gotta get better at counting. That should be it. That is it. All right, 15 more. All right, 3 more groups. We hit the dot next to it. Five. I have to remember that there's already a bullet in that next dot. Five. Definitely hitting a bit to the right. And that should be it. Indeed. All right, I'm gonna go take a look at those and we'll see you back at the house. All right, so let's talk about this thing. We actually did worse than I thought it could possibly do. I'll go over the groups here. Everything is exactly how it looks in the video with the exception of one flyer. That was definitely me. I took that out of the group. Because that would have been like a 5-inch group at 50 yards, and I know that was me. So I'll throw them up on screen. First group was 1.842 inches. Second group was 2.065 inches. Then we have 2.505, 1.355, 0.846, 0.812. That was our best group, but that was also the one that had the flyer in it that I took off the measurement. 2.202, 2.780, and the last one was 2.108. That gives us an average of a 1.835 inch group at 50 yards, or an MOA average group of 3.505, which is pretty horrible. So with that, let's talk about kind of the goals for this thing, what we want to do. So this isn't going to be like the Pursuit of Accuracy, the videos he did where he's trying to make like, you know, an NRL kind of style gun, a really heavy gun that's just going to sit there and drive tacks. That's not what we're going to be doing. This is going to be, my goal is like not a super heavy hunting gun. So I think if we can get, you know, at 100 yards, 1.5 groups, inch groups would be great. I'd be super happy about that. You know, this thing's mainly going to be for like rabbits and gophers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of the plans for this gun. Next step's going to be a better optic. I think we're going to do the Element Helix 5-25 in a first focal plane. I don't know what scope rings yet. I'm still figuring that out. And then after that, we might do the trigger or we might do the chassis. It just depends. If the chassis that I'm looking at comes back into stock, then we'll do that. If not, we'll do the trigger. From there, probably the barrel if the chassis is not in yet. That's kind of the whole determining thing with that. So trigger, chassis, barrel, then internals. Then it's going to get, well, it might get its own bipod first, but internals are probably the last thing we're going to do. Yeah, I might cut it here. I might throw in the part where I get a new optic on it and we shoot groups again. I'm not sure yet. But thanks for watching and stay tuned.